Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bundesliga Show. Here for some, match week 19 predictions ahead of another fantastic weekend of Bundesliga action. As you can probably tell, I'm on my lonesome at the moment. The plan was, of course, for Mark to join me as per, but sadly, Tech has let us down tonight. But hopefully, Mark's going to kind of jump in the chat as well and have his say. So we're both still doing the show, but Mark is in the ether somewhere. But nevertheless, still got a great show ahead of us. Looking forward to some great games in the Bundesrepublik. So yeah, sit back and enjoy. Give me a hand. Give me your predictions as well as I'm going this solo from a sense of being on screen at least. Obviously, make sure to like this video, comment your predictions, and of course subscribe to the channel. Also go find us on socials as well, so you can keep track of all the shows. We're back tomorrow morning with fantasy with the returning Runa, so lots of stuff coming your way ahead of another jam-packed weekend of action. So looking forward to it. Mark's already in the chat. Lovely stuff. Thank you for jumping in. Right, obviously going to work this chronologically as we always do. Starting off on Friday. So we've got, a big game, as the title suggests. For Friday Night Lights, we're in Hamburg. We've got the Hamburg Derby. This should be a great game. Pauli versus Hamburg, greatly anticipated. Really looking forward to it. Fans will be up for it. The Millantor will be packed. However, obviously, from a form point of view, neither of these teams are particularly enjoying themselves. It's been a bit of a tough time for them both. Pauli, dropped down the league, plummeted really. Their form has really dropped off. So far this year, they've only picked up no points rather, with their two losses. To Wolfsburg and Dortmund, which they ran them close naturally. But I think, this is obviously a really important game for them. Hamburg come into it with no great form either. Away from home, they're pretty poor. Obviously, invariably speaking, Pauli won, obviously, the opening, the first Hamburg derby in the Bundesliga for some time. So I think this is going to be a close one. Of course, might see the odd red card. I can see now in the comments that we've got some predictions already. So Mark is saying 1-1. And we've got also a comment from JCCR172. Thank you for tuning in, pal. And you're going 2-1 Hamburg. Tricky one this for me. Pauli obviously rock bottom. Hamburg ahead of them, a win would really open things up. I might split the difference. We've had a draw predicted. We've had a Hamburg win. I'll go the other way and say 2-1 Pauli. Not based on much, but I think they need it. Maybe with the Millantor support behind them, they can get a victory. So I'll say 2-1 to the home sides. Moving on to Saturday for the half three kickoffs, the Halbbier Saturday afternoon games. Bayern kick us off with a Bavarian derby against Augsburg. Bayern doing what they needed to do last night to qualify for the top 8 to the Champions League. Another tick for them in the box. Probably be, as me and Mark discussed the other day, looking at some rotation for this one. You can probably say, obviously, Bayern are in great form. Augsburg having a tough time of it. A couple of draws to start the new year, but still, you can't see past them. This was a good game at the start of the season, just before Bayern had, obviously got off to a good start and really got going. It was 3-2, and Augsburg gave them a bit of a scare towards the end of it. There's been a couple of 3-2s in the last couple of seasons, but at home at the Allianz, can't see past it. Bayern, 4-0 Bayern. Mark saying, unfortunately, I will say for this one, I'll say 3-1. I think Augsburg might, be up for it and give them a bit of a half decent game initially, but the quality is too much. Also, JC saying 4-1. Yeah, fair scoreline as well. Thank you for that. We will move on then to Leverkusen versus Bremen on Saturday afternoon. And, Leverkusen, similarly to Frankfurt, they're still trying to figure things out, aren't they? 3 losses on the spin for Die Werkself. It's a good team. Well, I think the Olympiacos one midweek's a really poor performance, not what they wanted to see. But Hoffenheim and Stuttgart are both teams in form. Who they've lost to, but they've lost their goals at the moment. They're struggling in that sense. Paddy Schick as well. But they're fortunate in the sense that they're playing a Werder side that aren't fantastic at winning games. They too have not started life to this year very well, although the 3-3 draw with Frankfurt was exciting, but that's them just exposing a very frail Frankfurt defense, I think. I think this will be a close one. I want to kind of half call an upset, maybe another draw, but my head is just backing Leverkusen to get back to winning ways, and I will say 2-1. I'll lock in with what you've said there, JC. Yeah, 2-1. Big disappointment yesterday. They've put themselves under a lot of pressure just to qualify in the Champions League now for that top 24 berth. They've got, I think they finished up with Villarreal. Me and Mark were commenting on that when we were chatting just off, last evening, saying very disappointed in how it's ended up for them. But at least they're still in it. But yeah, big couple of games to them coming up. And then they've got, I think they've then got Frankfurt next. Is that right? Is that the Pokal? No, that is Frankfurt in the Bundesliga. Pokal is Pauli at home. So there we are. Moving on then to interesting looking game Saturday afternoon. Frankfurt taking on Hoffenheim. I think obviously in the cold light of it, on paper, this looks like a close game. But I mean, Hoffenheim are in great nick on the pitch, and Frankfurt are not. They're in a terrible place. They're in terrible form. Things have changed from a head coach point of view. That's obviously still not been resolved yet. Their confidence is gone. Obviously I already mentioned they're leaking goals. That doesn't look like it's changed much. The 3 goals that they conceded to Karabag were, a mix of just not great defending and marking for me. Puts them up against the Hoffenheim side, who we probably used to say that Hoffenheim were more of an away team, which is true. Their form is good, but their away form isn't amazing. Their last 5 away games, they've actually only won 1 of them. So it does give Frankfurt a bit of hope, but I will lock in a 2-1 away win for the TSG. Mark agreeing with me, but he's going 3-1. And JC, you've gone for a 1-1 draw, which is also a good shout as well there. We will see about that one. Ballum tuning in as well. Hope you're enjoying the show, pal. Thank you for the comment. Lightning McQueen, one-man show. Indeed, for now at least, until Mark's tech hopefully gets sorted out very soon. Thank you for tuning in, though. Moving on then, we've got another game on Saturday afternoon. We've got Mainz 05 taking on Wolfsburg. Another big game for Mainz at home, which they need to win to start getting themselves out of trouble and climbing the table. Wolfsburg, getting stuffed by Bayern is fairly normal for most teams. They picked up a little bit before the new year, but still they're a very strange team. To figure out from a consistency point of view. Mainz need it a great deal, and a win would only then put them 4 points off of Wolfsburg in 12th place, which is pretty crazy. It goes to show what a poor season Wolfsburg are having. So I fancy the home side here with the desperation, with no Conference League to worry about for a little while as well. It's got to be full focusing on the Bundesliga. So I will say a 3-1 home win, I reckon. So got a couple of comments here for scores. JC going for Mainz 2-1. Yep, fair enough. And there we go. Mark is going 1-0 to the Wolves. Crikey. Well, we'll see about that. I say an upset. That's probably not the right way around if we're calling a Mainz win. But yeah, absolutely. Ballum saying that Sky Deutschland are after Mark. Well, hopefully not, but who knows? That he'll be back very soon, Ballum. Don't you worry about that. I think we'll move on from that. I think I'll lock in a Mainz win for that. The last Saturday afternoon game is Heidenheim taking on Leipzig. The home side. Saying only available to Dazzlen. Yeah, very good. Heidenheim, they're in bad nick. Obviously a team that not generally expected to have survived this season anyway. I think they're doing well to have picked up 13 points. It's just the quality of their squad that they're struggling with. But I love the character, Frankie Schmidt. He never gives up on a game. The substitutions that he does late in games, the super subs, they've worked quite well throughout the season, but they do need more goals and more regularly, I'm afraid. So hopefully they can find them from somewhere. But yeah, with Leipzig in town, tricky game. Again, Leipzig's full focus, of course, invariably right now will be on the Bundesliga. Again, with no European commitments for the season. So I will, I'll lock in a comfortable win. I'll say 3-0 for Leipzig. With the star players that they have at their disposal, they'll want to get, that back on the horse, after getting that Bayern drubbing once more, they have to react, and they have to react well. I think they will. I'll say 3-0. Mark saying 3-1. We've also got JC saying 2-1 Leipzig. Ballum saying we need Rory to go to Germany. I'm absolutely up for that. Just need to figure out some plans in terms of my little priority, being my little man at the moment. And JC saying, dear man, back, he will perform. Yeah, he should do, and very much a shout for fantasy teams as well. There. Thank you for those comments, guys. That's great. We will move on to the top spiel for Saturday. And what I think will be a really competitive one as well, as Union Berlin welcome BVB to town. Yeah, you know what? Union Berlin are just a decent team this season and are very much overlooked in terms of what they've achieved, in recent seasons and indeed this season. I think they're going great guns. Frustrated that Stuttgart didn't beat them last week, but they just held in. Don't concede too many goals, don't let up too many chances. Stuttgart scored that second goal. There's still a chance. It should have been a win for VfB, but that wasn't the case, and they took their chance right at the end. Set pieces, I think, will worry Dortmund. If we think back to what happened against Pauli, for Dortmund, and in midweek against Spurs as well. So Dortmund won't be feeling great about themselves in that sense. So if that's targeted as well as it can be by Union Berlin, I can see them scoring a couple of goals, Dookie and Kurfeld, etc. So from a scoreline prediction, it's tough. Depends what Dortmund do as well from a rotation point of view. Obviously, they went strong against Spurs, so players will either have to back it up or or perform from a rotation basis. I will say for this one, inclined to agree with you guys saying that'll be a draw. Union draw specialists at the moment, so I will lock that in as well. I'll say 2-2 as well as you, JC. A good comment there. Mark saying 1-1. Ballon just commenting here saying Union Berlin have beaten Dortmund before, and BVB lost to Dortmund, so hard to say. Completely agree. Great points being made there. And Ballon, you've gone for a 1-0 scoreline, which I think is a good shout as well, because Dortmund do have the ability to win these tight games, as we've seen, this season under Kovac, by not playing well. Mark will talk about that Augsburg game, which was wretched on the eye, but obviously they got the win in the end. Guirassy is due a goal, isn't he? I think Brandt and Adeyemi have been carrying them from an attacking point of view recently. So I'd back Guirassy to score, but I'm saying a draw on this one. But looking forward to that game for sure on Saturday night. On to Sunday, we have a couple of games, and we've got Borussia Moenchengladbach taking on my boys, the VfB. Obviously a huge game tonight for Stuttgart, going to Italy, going to the Eternal City in Rome, and playing against Roma. That'll just be a great occasion. I can't wait to watch. I'll only be able to watch the second half because I'm at football, but I'm really looking forward to watching it. And really hope that they perform. Naturally, there's going to be rotation involved. Looking at we can look at the starting 11 right now and see. Yeah, Hoeneß has gone strong up top with a bit of rotation in defence. So we'll have to see where that lands. Up against Ferguson, he used to play for Evan Ferguson, formerly of Brighton, isn't it? Wow, there we go. Looking forward to that. For this one, Gladbach haven't started this year as well, obviously with a huge loss to Hoffenheim. The draw with Hamburg wasn't great either. I'd like to back the boys to get a win, although I think it will be close at Borussia Park. So I will say 2-1, just about. Really depends on how well the VfB travel and recover. JC going for a 2-1 scoreline as well. Really good there. And just looking at comment from Ballon. Where do you watch Friday UK Bundesliga matches? Rory, BBC iPlayer TV, or YouTube with Mark Goldbridge? Some people like Mark Goldbridge watch along with the Bundesliga show on YouTube. I can tell you now, I don't watch the Mark Goldbridge coverage of the Bundesliga. I enjoy it on iPlayer and get to watch it that way. Having to multi-stream through BBC iPlayer, Sky Sports here, and Amazon for my Sunday games. It's a lot of maintenance. It'd be great if someone could just take it and do it really well, like BT Sport used to do. But that's how I'm managing at the moment, Colin. Mark saying 3-1 VfB. Yeah, I'll take that. That's for sure. Thank you guys. Some great comments there. Moving on to the final game of the match week, which is SC Freiburg taking on Billy Goats, FC Koeln. A game that kind of speaks as more of a mid-table clash, although Freiburg will certainly have their eyes on trying to take a European spot again. They certainly love the Europa League. Having said that, they've just scored in their match against Tel Aviv late on, a Matanovic goal, which is good to see. So if they hold on to that, they're in great stead. I think that will lock them in for top 8 with a game to spare, which would be awesome for them. Looking at my maths, if it's correct, which I think it is. So great guns from them. They love the Europa. They're rotating their squad as well as they can. They don't have a deep squad, so I think they will struggle as the season goes on. The Billy Goats are also struggling a little bit. Not been on great form, but that comeback win against Mainz, which was very much kind of spearheaded by Ragnar Arke, was excellent. So that it was a well-timed win. They're back up to 10th, as I said, on 20 points. Pretty comfortable, but they don't want to get drawn in because obviously Hamburg in 14th place are only 3 points off them. So they'll have their own ambitions just to keep on going. I see this one as a close game and a draw. I will say 1-1 scoreline with this game overall. JC has gone for a narrow win for Freiburg. That's fair enough. They're a strong team at home as well. For sure. Mark also locking in the 1-0 scoreline. There we go. I'm up against it here. Thank you for those predictions, guys. Ballon just saying BT stopped showing Bundesliga because it was the Bayern Liga, with a rare exception of Bayern winning indeed. Well, fingers crossed that we can get some more different winners in the years to come. Lovely stuff. Thank you, guys. That's been really fun just to go through that and pick out some big predictions for match week 19. So looking forward to the games over the weekend. All there is left to do for me to finish up is, again, remind you to like this video, comment your predictions if you've not been watching live with us, sub to the channel. That'd be fantastic if you can. And yeah, find us on socials. Also check out the podcast. We're doing as much as we can with that as well, and have a great amount of support on that. So if you can, if you want to listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, please do leave a rating and review. That'd be greatly appreciated. Also, so thank you all for watching. We will be back tomorrow morning, myself and Runa, technology pending, that is, for another big fantasy show. Make sure you tune in 8:30 UK time. Looking forward to that. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the football. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Cheers, guys.